Welcome to the 2021 Hispanic Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We are gathered here virtually to formally recognize those students who are being inducted as new members of the Hispanic Honor Society. These students have consistently met the high standards set forth by our society and demonstrated commitment to their study of language. We come together to celebrate their accomplishments. Let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Gorski, to say a few words.
Hola, bonjour, ni hao. Those pronunciations were pretty painful. I took Latin in high school. I'd like to shout out and recognize Superintendent Norcia, World Language Supervisor Lopez, World Language Honor Society Advisors Shoemaker, Cernadas, Samard, and Yang. And most importantly, the student leaders of each of these honor societies, Presidents Godovnikova, Lotem, and Shah. And really most importantly, the stars of this virtual induction ceremony, our new inductees and the current seniors of the class of 2021. They probably have some curse words in these languages for what their last year has been like. Our world is smaller now. We certainly have seen how small it is when a pandemic can spread across the globe many times over. Social media, employment, online gaming, these are all ways that we make connections with people all around the world. However, though our world is smaller, we can become even more isolated. Communication is more important now than ever. Got this from Forbes magazine in May 2014, but it's still relevant today. It's top skills for the future success in the workplace. Inductees and seniors, I'd like you to listen up because your folks actually want you to get jobs when you're done with school. The first of these skills is sense making. Steve Jobs once said, "Creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it. They just saw something." Sense making is all about the ability to connect things to create new ideas. The next one, social intelligence. Relationships and the ability to connect with people becomes and remains a crucial capability. However, as John Hagel pointed out in the article, influence and relationship building will now come from asking the right questions, not necessarily having all the answers. In the age of the individual, you can no longer assume that every person shares the same goals, desires, and motivators. Whether you're engaging with an employee or a customer, everyone is unique and wants to be catered to in a way that's unique to them. The ability to connect with people is a deeper, more meaningful way, whether they're colleagues or strangers, will enable us to thrive beyond the industrial age, get things done, and solve complex problems. To be able to do this, we have to continue to develop capabilities to quickly understand other people's emotions, motivations, and triggers, and take a human approach. The next one is novel and adaptive thinking. At the pace in which companies are changing, staying up to date is no longer enough. Taking self-initiative to constantly improve your skills, putting yourself outside your comfort zone, becoming a perpetual student, and quickly adapting to new realities will help ensure that you're creating value and will keep you outside of the possibility of being outsourced. The final one is cross-cultural competency, and this is so important for the study of foreign languages and cultures. Globalization is the reality. Many of us work globally every day, interacting with a multitude of cultures, but those who know how to empathize and adjust their communications and style of collaboration will always have an advantage when working across geographies and cultures. I know that was a lot to digest, but it's some really good advice. And I think that the learning that you've done, the ways in which you've studied, the connections that you've made, are really going to position you for great success moving forward. Speaking of digesting, the best part of these ceremonies, particularly the world language ceremonies, is food. Unfortunately, since we're not at school and not having this in person, you're going to have to raid your own fridge after this is over. But as you know, if you've been to another country, you've been part of another culture, to smile, to laugh, to enjoy food and drink, this is a universal language. You have the skills to be able to interact in those settings. Share those with the world. Seeing you, Fair Lawn High School students, our best and brightest, become global citizens is really pretty cool. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to introduce our Supervisor of World Language, Mrs. Lopez, to say a few words.
My name is Mrs. Lopez, and I am the Supervisor of World Languages, English Language Learners, and Music. I am thrilled to be able to speak and honor excellence in the study of a world language at this virtual Fair Lawn High School World Language Honor Society induction ceremony. I would like to thank you for joining us as we honor students who have demonstrated a deep level of commitment to the practice and study of a world language and culture. Thank you to our supportive Board of Education members. A special thank you to our Fair Lawn High School administrators, our district world language teachers, and thank you to our advisors, Mrs. Shoemaker and Mr. Nadas. After this very challenging year, our inductees exemplify what the school and community look for in our students. Our new inductees have been chosen for their excellence in 4 major areas: leadership, scholarship, service, and character. Our ceremony represents a significant time in each student's journey in the study of a world language. Knowing another language is transformative and life-changing. This year has been a year where we have accepted change in our personal lives as well as in our languages. This past week, I read an article about a famous French dictionary including a record number of new words, many of which have emerged from the coronavirus epidemic. Not only has our physical and daily lives changed, so have our languages. The famous linguist David Crystal shares, language itself changes slowly, but the internet has speeded up the process of those changes so you notice them more quickly. I want to extend his sentiment to include that a pandemic also speeds up the process of those changes, so you notice those new language words more quickly as well. In closing, please know there's always lots to learn in language learning. Inductees, continue to maintain excellent grades, demonstrate a passion and commitment in your world language classes, and participate in as many in-school and out-of-school community service activities as possible. I want to congratulate you again, and congratulations.
Members old and new of the Hispanic Honor Society, greetings. We are gathered here virtually for the initiation of this group of students who have shown and proven a deep interest in the beautiful Spanish language. This Hispanic Honor Society was founded by the American teachers of Spanish and Portuguese in 1953 for the students of the North American secondary schools. This chapter was established at Fair Lawn High School thanks to the efforts of Senora Levine. The name of this chapter is Si Quieros. Our motto is Todos a Una, or all together. Our colors are gold and red, and our insignia and seal are those of the Mother Association.
Now we are going to be quiet. This is our initiation, serious and significant. Let us all listen carefully. This image symbolizes our mother candle, which has served us each year. It represents inspiration. As an example of this inspiration, the new inductees are going to recite the words of the poet Antonio Machado and his poem, Caminante, no hay camino.
Caminante,
Son tus huellas.
el camino y nada más.
Caminante, no hay camino.
Se hace camino.
Al andar,
Al andar.
Se hace el camino.
Y al volver.
La vista atrás.
Se ve la senda.
Que nunca.
Se ha de
Volver a pisar.
Caminante.
No hay camino.
sino estelas.
En la mar.
An unlit candle type of fire course of life. Thus, without burning, it exists but does not live. That candle is saying, if they burn me, I live, but if not, I die. May our lives never be candles unburnt. Now, each is invited to light his or her flame at home, which symbolizes with its heat the inspiration toward high ideals. I have the honor of presenting these candidates whose names are Laura Barbieri, Artem Beliovsky, Jacob Caraballo, Nicholas Della Pesca, Sarah Diaz, Sean Ebenezer, Gianna Garcia, Mackenzie Garcia, Ashley Gomez, Robert Grin, Christina Hemsley, Manahil Imran, Mehek Imran, Ashika Jagadish, Lindsay Reichert, Naya Sablé, Asha Thomas, Edward Trivella, Ian Van.
You will repeat after me the following oath of the society, phrase by phrase. New members, please repeat after me. As a member of the Siqueiros chapter,
As a member
of the Siqueiros chapter,
I promise to devote myself
I promise to devote myself
to the study of the Spanish language
To the study of the Spanish language.
in order to master it someday.
in order to master it someday.
Remembering that a language
Remembering that a language
can be a strong tie
can be a
can be a
strong
strong tie
between persons of differing origins
between persons of differing origins,
of race or religion,
of race or religion.
as a citizen of my country,
As a
As a
citizen
citizen
of
of my country,
I promise to promote friendship
I promise
to promote friendship
and understanding
and
understanding
between it and the other lands of the world.
between it
and the other lands of the world.
Let us remember this. Friends, by the authority granted to me by the presidency of the Siqueiros chapter, I now declare you members of the Hispanic Honor Society. Welcome.